right. It's up now. Fucking shit!
What's the matter?
Them Holtons painted my own doorstep. When I catch that lousy bastard, I'll break the grubby onto head. He won't even be able to wipe his ass. Bloody fucking hell! Then you need something?
You're having trouble with the Takovites?
I'd say. It's time to get payback for all those shenanigans up there. You look like you might be good at that sort of thing. And since you're already here, why don't you help me out? Trust me, I'll make it worth your while. What do you say?
Well, I might be able to help. But first, I want to know what this is about.
All right, listen up. Up on that hill over there, it's Takov. All I want you to do is to go over there and give them a taste of their own medicine. We'll make some mischief and have a few laughs while we're at it. Well then, will you help me?
Why not? I could use a good laugh.
Listen up then. Those naughty Takovite bastards have this nice maypole in their village. They're so proud of it, you'd think it's a gift from the king himself. Especially Project. Nothing would teach them a lesson better than stealing it and putting it up on display here. Just to spite them.
So all I have to do is take their maypole and bring it to you?
Aye, exactly. But be careful no one sees you take it. It'll be even better if they don't even know it's missing. Besides, if they catch you, they'll beat the shit out of you. So be careful.
All right, I'll be careful. Thanks.
Excellent. But even if something goes wrong, don't go clobbering anyone over the head, understand? All I want to do is piss Project off.
You want to do what to him?
Piss him off. You know, mess with him for stealing our maypole and our pasture. But remember, no violence, all right?
Of course. I wouldn't hurt a fly. You can count on me.
But go ahead and talk to Project. At least you'll see what an asshole he is.
Why don't you like the Takovites?
Because they're wankers. Arrogant wankers. Think they're above everyone else. But mainly, they stole our pasture, which has belonged to Giliov since time immemorial.
How does someone steal a pasture, anyway?
Like a prick, that's how. Behind Takov, there's this strip of land leading toward the pond. It's supposed to belong to us, for grazing. There's an old tree there, and everything between the tree and the woods is ours. I was there when it was decided. I was about your age then, and I got a good beating under that tree, so I remember. And you can bet your ass I remember.
But how did they steal it from you?
Because they don't believe me. Those treacherous bastards. They lie about it wherever they can, saying the deal was different. And it was a different tree near the forest.
Can anything be done about it? Can't you make some kind of agreement?
Well, we meet there every year. I tell them how they did, while they just spew their usual lies. So we kick each other's arses, and everything just stays the way it is. A while back, we fought for a right to use at least half of it. But because I grazed my cattle there, I had to pay those bastards for using their half as well. But that's not fair. All of it is supposed to be ours by law, for fuck's sake.
Oy, that's a tricky situation.
Tricky my ass. They're greedy liars. Simple as that.
They beat you up under the tree? Why would they do that?
You bet they did. That's just how it's done, obviously. When we agree on something like this, we take a young lad and give him a good pummeling, so that he'll remember in case the others forget. and we pick a young boy because he had a good memory and, God willing, still has many years in front of him. It makes sense?
Aye, you're right. I remember we used to do the same back where I'm from. Did you take your pasture dispute to Lord Bombergov?
Of course we did. He asked the Thruskovitz bailiff to resolve it, and he said we should sort it out amongst ourselves. And that if he heard about it ever again, he'll have both me and Project flogged. So that's that.
Why do they look down on you?
Commoners here have all sorts of obligations to the nobility, and have to pay a tax.
Of course. That makes sense.
Aye, but Takov has all its obligations in Grossen. They just pay up and that's it. But the nobles won't allow the same for Yayov. Besides Grossen, the others have to give them pigs, chickens, hay and the like, or go and serve. That's why them Takovites look down on us. They think they're better than us.
Right you are. Those Takovites are a bunch of stuck-up idiots.
Exactly. Me? Even an outsider can tell.
About the Takov maypole.
Ask away.
I reckon they'll be guarding the maypole, eh?
Aye. They're proper careful and keep a good eye on it. You'll have to be subtle and outsmart them somehow. But that shouldn't be too hard. That Takov lot ain't the brightest. Ask around. See what's going on over there. You'll figure something out.
Well, you don't need me for this, do you? Just send one of your farmhands.
It's not that simple. Maypoles are a big deal in these parts. We had one here too, just like in Soskowitz. But those Takovites stole ours, and our fellas didn't manage to steal theirs. They got their arses kicked too. That's how it is every year. They're very proud of the maypole, but they won't be expecting a stranger like you to steal it.
Do you have any idea how I'm actually supposed to steal it?
What we need is the wreath. That's the important part. I reckon you'll have to climb up and chop the top off.
All right. Climbing up there should be no problem.
There you go. I like your enthusiasm, but I reckon climbing up there will take a bit of time. So be careful none of those Takov fools spot you.
Ave Maria.
People call you the mouth, right? They say you tell all sorts of stories.
I'm no mouth to you. My name is Denyek. Got that? What do people call you then? Bughead? Arse face?
I'm sorry, Stenyak. I'm Henry.
Pleased to meet you. But you were right about the stories. I could tell you stories so sad they'd make the devil cry. Or would you prefer something so scary it'll make the hairs on your ass turn white? But it's a lot of hard work for me. Now, if you had something to drink or a couple of groschen, that might help loosen my tongue.
To your health, my friend.
Thank you very much. I knew you wouldn't leave me high and dry. So what kind of story would you like to hear?
I like stories that can teach me something. Stories with a moral.
Haven't you heard enough of those in church? But it's not a problem. I have just the tale for you. And it's not one you'll hear from any priest. So, once upon a time, there lived in these very lands 2 brothers. The older was called Kuba, the younger, Matthias. They were both woodcutters, like their father and his father before him. One day, At the height of summer, they were working in the woods. The air was as hot as a furnace, so Matthias went to a nearby pond to cool himself. But as he was leaning over the cold water, there was a loud splash. His axe had got loose from his belt. In haste, he began to search the muddy bed of the pond, and his hands soon touched something hard and heavy. He pulled it out and could not believe his eyes. He pulled out an axe. Yes, but not his old one. It was an axe made of pure silver.
Good God. I'd grab that without a second thought.
Maybe you would, but Matthias would never. He was an honest man, and with a big swing he threw the silver axe back. He searched the pond again, and this time he pulled out his own axe. Nothing but dull iron and old wood.
I reckon that was the right choice. Who knows who the silver axe belonged to?
Well, quite. Listen on. Matthias was just about to leave when suddenly a water goblin came out of the pond, silver axe in his hands, and he said, "You're a righteous man, Matthias, and for your honesty, you may keep both axes." Matthias, not hanging around for the goblin to change his mind, took up both axes, gave us thanks, and ran to tell Kuba all about it. Kuba, however, was not best pleased with his little brother's fortune. He deeply envied Matthias for his newfound wealth. So, he set out to try the same thing. He ran as fast as his legs could carry him straight to the pond, threw his own axe in, and began a pretend search for it. Yet Kuba had no luck. He pulled out the axe he'd thrown in himself. So he tried again. Tricked by sunlight, he grabbed something shiny, only to pull out his old iron axe again. Enraged, he hurled his axe back into the water and yelled, "Fuck this axe! I want a silver one." But the water goblin heard his shameful cry and was greatly upset by Kuba's greed. So, when Kuba reached down into the water for a third time, the water goblin seized his hand, pulled him down whole to the dark depths, and drowned him. Huh?
All was as it should have been. It was Kuba's fault.
I don't think so. It seems Matthias didn't either. He went to the water goblin and begged for his brother's body so he could take him home and bury him. But the path back from the pond led over a steep hill, and carrying the weight of the waterlogged body exhausted Matthias. He stopped to rest by an old oak tree, and he used a silver axe to cut off a branch that would serve as a walking stick. But it wasn't enough. Somehow, it was still getting harder to continue up the hill. Then Matthias realized it wasn't his brother's body that was weighing him down. It was the silver axe. The axe was the cause of all this trouble. So he started bashing the silver axe against a big stone with all his might, trying to destroy it. Yet no matter what, he couldn't even make a dent. With the last of his strength, Matthias climbed to the top of the hill. He knew he could go no further, so he found a pretty spot with a view over the valley and dug his brother a grave. There, he buried both his brother and the silver axe that had brought such pain upon them. His final act was to stick the oak branch in the ground by the grave. But lo and behold, the branch grew green leaves and became a tree. The locals have had no dealings with the water goblin since then, but some have had the bad luck to bump into him. And when you walk by the pier, where it all happened, you can still hear his chuckling.
That was a very nice story.
Story? What story? It's the truth.
Well, why hasn't anyone gone looking for the axe then?
Because it brings misfortune. Didn't you listen to me at all? Look for yourself if you wish. Rock Tower Pond isn't far from here. The Water Goblin's Pier is somewhere among the reeds. But leave me out of it. I'm fine here with my drink. It was good to see you, my friend. Excuse me.
I've heard about you, but you can't beat me.
So, what can I help the Takovites with this time?
We're planning to meet with the Geliovites in the pasture that they keep arguing with us about. We'll sort it all out with them there. Nicely. Man to man. Wouldn't you like to join us?
To tell the truth, painting that bull was enough for me. I'd rather take a break from the Geliovites.
I don't blame you. If you change your mind, you know where to find me.
Anyway.
How's it going?
It's shit, to tell you the truth.
How come?
Because I have to guard this bloody maypole. I can't even get a good night's sleep because of it, and there's plenty of other work to do during the day. And then there's... Oh, never mind. Forget it.
What did you want to say? Sometimes it's better to share your troubles. Two heads are better than one, after all.
I mean, if you say so, it's about Manka. I'm sure you've noticed her. She's the prettiest lass around.
Gosh, it's hard not to notice her.
Exactly. Me and Manka love each other, but her parents are against it. I don't even know why. They just don't like me. They forbid her from seeing me. We went to a dance together in Troskowitz recently, but when they found out, they were furious. Now they're keeping close watch over her and causing problems for me as well.
Well, they can't be watching her all the time, can they? Just go out late at night sometime. Nobody'll notice.
We've done that a few times, but we can't now. There's no time for it. I've got to stand watch at night. I was drawn. This year, they want to keep the maypole up until harvest, and that's still far off.
Listen, I've got an idea. How about I stand watch in your stead for one night? You and Manka can go somewhere in the meantime. Nobody'll know.
You do that for us?
Of course. It's nothing.
All right, we have a deal. Ask Manka and let me know what she says.
How's the maypole garden going?
I'm bored out of my bloody mind.
Would you mind some company?
Oh, not really.
Are you from around here?
I mean, that depends. I live here. I inherited a farm from my parents, but I wasn't born here. My parents came here sometime after that Great Plague. There was a vacant farm, so they settled here.
It looks better already.
When's the last time I ate something?
Taking their time again.
I apologize.
Do you have enough onions for the soup?
Aye.
Can I spend the night here?
We're not set up for that here.
Filthy again. Damn it.
I'll pay you well if you let me spend the night here every now and then.
I'll let you sleep on the hay for a couple of groschen.
Let's agree on a... How's this?
Look, offer a bit... Fine. Feel free to sleep on the hay, but don't go wandering around my home.
I wanted to ask about Henrik.
What about him?
Did he do something to you? Sounds like you're not exactly fond of him.
Aye, I'm not. He's been getting on my nerves ever since he got together with our Manka. I'm afraid he'll mess with her head and run off with her, just like his bloody brothers did.
Where did they go?
What do I know? One day they just packed up and wandered off. Their village wasn't good enough for them, I reckon. I wouldn't mind if someone went and beat the thought of Manka out of his head. Maybe someone not from around here.
Why not? I could manage that.
He's not much of a fighter, but I reckon if you call him a vagrant or something, it'll surely rile him up. And I'll remember you did me a little favour.
I'm feeling a bit peckish.
Stranger. He never used to be like that.
I know. Sorry. Henrik told me about you.
That's great. And why are you telling me?
He said you're having a hard time seeing each other because of your parents. So he came up with a plan.
Aye, that's true. So, what did you come up with?
I'll take over guard duty for him, and you two can have some time to yourselves.
Well, that sounds pretty good, actually. So, how are we going to do it?
Tonight, when everyone's asleep, you'll sneak out and wait for Henrik. I'll take over his watch, and you two, well, can do whatever you want.
All right, agreed. Tell Henrik I'll be waiting for him. He'll know where to go. And tell him I'm looking forward to tonight.
I need something to eat.
You have a kind master, eh, doggy?
Where should I lie down?
You can sleep upstairs in the barn.
You have a beautiful maypole. Does that mean life here is just as beautiful?
Aye, we're doing pretty well. And our fellows guard that maypole well.
But if they're guarding it, who's doing the other work?
That's why they take turns. Our Alsheik was guarding it not long ago, but now the neighbor's lad, Henrik, is in charge of it. At least he doesn't have the time to fool around at night.
Is Alsheik your son?
Aye, he's our boy, but he's giving Prochek a headache because he doesn't like having to herd sheep. Ask him about it if you want.
Do you know Henrik at all?
He started going out with our monka a while ago, but we put a stop to it. In short, he's not exactly the kind of fella I want in my family.
Why? Did he do something to you?
I don't want him whisking Manka away so we never see her again. His parents came here shortly after that terrible plague. There was a vacant farm, so they settled there. They had 3 sons, Henrik being the youngest. Say, have you met his brothers?
I haven't, though I can't say I made an effort to.
Well, you couldn't have met them even if you wanted, because they're not here. Both of them left. They say the younger one had a sweetheart in Troskowitz and took her with him. Nobody knows where they ended up.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You make a good point.
I'm telling you, one of these days, he's going to pack up and disappear. And I don't want him taking our monka along with him. He doesn't like folks talking about it. But wandering's in his blood whether he likes it or not. He's even got into fights over it. Just mentioning it is enough for him to clench his fists. I don't want Monka wasting her time with someone like him.
Prochek wants me to tan his hide.
Good. He deserves a good beating.
When's the last time I ate something? I could use some sleep.
There. It looks better already.
I really need to sleep.
What about...
Did he?
Aye, I'm...
Where?
What do I... I wouldn't mind if...
One?
He's not... And I'll...
Lord be with you.
Henrik, what about your brothers?
What? Why do you care?
No, it's just that I've been hearing some interesting things about them around town.
Pah, let them talk. I don't know anything about them. They left.
Why did they leave?
I'm not sure. This place isn't too bad, but I reckon they wanted to see the world. Penna left after Pa died, and Rudlin right after Ma's passing, so I was left here alone.
And where did they go?
Hard to say. One said he'd head towards Prague. The other decided to go wherever his legs take him. But as for where they are now, I've no clue. They both said they'd return in a year, but they never did. I hope I get to see them again.
I hear you've got wanderer's blood, and you're getting ready to leave, just like them. I'm a bit of a wanderer myself. Will you take me with you?
This again? Just you wait. I'll show you, just like I'll show anyone who talks about me like that.
When you say show, do you mean run away? I've heard that's all you can do. At least that's what everyone says.
Come on then. You ask for it. You're mine. I'm wounded! Take that! I'm wounded! Jesus! I'm hit! I've got nothing to tell you. Aye, I lost. So what? Letting myself get riled up like that again. All of you can piss off and take that maypole with you.
You have a kind, man. What are you doing here? Sakra! I hope nothing's missed.
That shepherd, Alshik, is he your son?
Aye, that's my boy. He's going to be really important one day. I arranged for him to learn from Bailiff Trush, so he'll have a better life. But now it's his turn to look after the livestock, so he can't go there. What a waste of time.
Good news. I kicked Hennick's arse.
That's what I like to hear. I'll see to it that word gets out about what a hothead he is. But I'd better wait till tomorrow when he's back on his feet. If the other lot found out Hennick's licking his wounds, I'm sure they'd rush the maypole tonight. We can do without a guard for one night.
Exactly. What's the worst that could happen?
Well, but never mind. Where were we? Aye, I'm glad he got what was coming to him. Maybe Manka will even understand she can do better. Anyway, it's good to know you're dependable. I'll remember that. Careful!
What have you done? Beating up Hennick like that?
Prochek wanted me to do it.
I see. Well, I won't let that slide. I don't want to see you ever again. I don't want to talk to someone who beat up my sweetheart.
Greetings to you. Sad you're just letting them sit there.
Can I spend the night? I'll pay you well.
For a few grot.
Let's agree on a price. Satisfied?
Look, offer. Agreed. There's plenty of room on the hay.
Where should I lie down?
You can sleep up.
What's new around here?
Nothing new. It's quiet here, fortunately.
Almost done.
I feel quite hungry. I need something to eat. Say, I have this fancy maypole from Takov here if you're interested.
My God! They're going to slit themselves! Nobody's got them this good in years! You're a champ, Henry! As soon as I saw you, I knew you had it in you. I promised you something, didn't I? And I'm a man of my word.
I wouldn't expect anything less. And one more thing that might put you in a good mood. You know Henrik?
Of course. He's the one who beat up my fellas last time they tried to get the maypole.
Aye. Well, this time he's the one that took a beating. He was pretty surprised.
Well, look at you. Beating up a strongman like that. That takes more than courage. I'll give you a little something extra for that.
Thanks, Olbram. It was my pleasure.
What do you say we pull one more trick, eh? I'd make it worth your while, of course.
All right. Why not?
Great. Now listen up. Let's really ruin their day, shall we?
I'm all ears.
Them Takovites grazed their sheep near the pasture they took from us. And you're going to scatter their sheep into the woods. What do you say? They'll have to herd them all back. I reckon they'll be proper pissed off.
All right. I'm sure they won't be happy about that.
That they won't. But that's not all. Project's beloved son is in charge of the sheep now. You'll make him look like a complete moron.
Project's son?
Aye. Project is in charge there. He gives me the most grief. And they all care about his opinion. If it wasn't for him, this whole bastard thing would have been sorted a long time ago. On top of that, he thinks his son is gifted, and that he'll be a bailiff somewhere one day. Nothing will piss him off more than seeing his son be the village idiot.
All right. That's a good plan.
Of course it is. I came up with it. The Takovites will be doing the washing soon. If you manage to drive the sheep through the drying laundry, I reckon they won't be too thrilled about it. I'll even give you an extra reward.
Say, Olbram, how am I supposed to lure away Project's son?
You'll figure it out. Actually, wait. I've got an idea. Flip this into his food, and you'll see.
What will I see?
It's what I give to my cattle for bellyache. Project's lad is going to sit all over himself. And while he's gone, you'll be able to chase off his sheep.
All right. That sounds like a plan. I'm on it.
Great. But same as before, all right? Don't go killing anyone, and don't get caught.
I worked Henrik over.
You did well. Getting into fights and toying with our lass's head. That's just like him. Maybe now he'll realize he should just put his head down and focus on his work.
Thinking about.
That's a load of shit.
It's filthy again. Damn it. Well, this doesn't seem too bad. That's all ready.
Get out of here, Matt!
How's it going?
Just like any other day, I reckon. I heard you beat Henrik. Hats off to you. No one's ever beaten him as far as I can remember.
How are the sheep? Do you have any trouble with wolves?
Not really. There were a few prowling around recently, but we managed to chase them off. I'm keeping an eye out for them. But other than that, herding is a bloody bore. I come here every day, eat the lunch my sister makes for me, and stare at the sheep.
I've got to go. Take care.
Aye, you too. See you soon, my friend. Get out!
Come here! I'm done with the sheep.
Ha ha! Great! How did it go? Tell me!
Well, I scattered their sheep like you wanted.
That's perfect!
I also trampled their laundry, like you mentioned.
You did? That must have been quite unpleasant for them. They'll have to start over.
Alshik ran like the wind after I slipped him that specialty of yours.
What a sight that must have been!
Aye. I reckon he's still throwing up.
You've taken care of everything. You deserve a reward. And with a bit on top as well. Like I promised. That you did such a good job.
Thanks, Oberon.
Don't mention it. You're a handy fella. But you could be even better. With my help, of course. They say I'm a good teacher. And listen, one more thing. We'll be meeting the Takovites soon to discuss the pasture they stole from us. I'd like you to come with us. If you're not against it, that is.
What could you teach me?
Well, I'd say I've experienced quite a lot in my long interesting life. And now, in my old age, I have much wisdom to share.
Do you have anything specific in mind?
I could help you with the craftsmanship. You know, like when you want to make something. I also spent a lot of time with animals as a child.
That sounds good. I'd love to make use of your experience and learn something new.
It'll take some time, and maybe you could give me a few cotton in return, eh?
So, what else do you have in store for those Takovites?
I'll tell you, friend. We're going to meet the Takovites in our pasture and try to sort it out. And if we don't get through to them, we'll kick their arses. Will you come with us?
I don't think this is for me.
Come on now. After you've come so far without sleep on it. It'll take a while for those Takovites to find the balls to fight us anyway.
Let's see what you've got.
Do you have enough onions for the soup?
Aye.
Greetings to you. How can I help?
Wouldn't you rather call an end to this endless feud with the Geliovites? That way, you'd each have half of the pasture, and everyone's happy, no?
Chance would be a fine thing. Oberon will never give up. He says the whole pasture is his.
The borders by the orchard, that's where I got my ass kicked.
Who knows what the old fool got his ass kicked for back then.
You should talk to the bailiff and get him to support you.
Thrush! He already said ages ago he doesn't want to get involved. He even threatened us with the stocks if we keep bothering him.
That's still all right. It'd be worse if you already had 3 ones.
I came because of the arguments between Takov and Zheliov.
What happened this time? Did old Bram piss in Project's ale barrels again like last year?
No, but they're getting ready to meet up and beat each other up.
Let them do it then! Maybe a few knocks to the skull will do them good, and they'll leave me alone.
How did the arguments between the Takovites and Zheliovites start, anyway?
What do I know? I was a young lad back then, but it's all because of that bloody pasture. Both villages claim that it belongs to them. but nobody has any evidence. So they split it in half, but neither side is particularly happy about it.
Well, you wouldn't let them fight over nothing, would you? Does nobody know who the bloody pasture belongs to?
Nobody who could be trusted not to be making it up. After all, what business is it of mine? Let them kill each other for all I care. Worst case, I'll have to clap them all in the pillory. That should sort them out.
I'm sure you have enough worries as is. And the Takovites and Jeliovites are just wasting your time. Wouldn't it be worth it to sort it out?
That it would. Bandits are running wild. My daughter is leaving the house. I don't have time for those morons right now. How the fuck am I supposed to find out who the pasture belongs to? I looked in the Chronicle. Things like that tend to be there. But Bailiff Brada, who was here before me, must have been a lunatic. You'd have to be mad to make any sense of that book.
Then let me have a look. I may not be mad, but maybe I'll find something you overlooked. You won't have to worry about anything.
You want to touch such a rare book with those filthy peasant hands? Have you lost your mind?
Fine then. If you don't want my help.
No, I don't.
This Latin phrase looks important. Otherwise it wouldn't be written in red, would it? Fecit ordinem in region ope claviferae. I should try to find somebody who could translate it for me.
Greetings, lad. What brings you here?
I need to translate something from Latin. You're an educated man, aren't you? Would you help me?
Why not? It's nice to see simple folk wanting to get educated. What is it you need translated?
Fecit ordinem in regione ope claviferae.
That's definitely Latin, but what could it mean? In regione is obvious. That's in the country or region. Fecit ordinem is something like to bring order. And clave ferre means iron spike or maybe nail. So, brought order to the region with the help of an iron nail. Where did you hear that nonsense?
That's not important. The main thing is I know what it means, and hopefully it'll help me in my work. Thank you. Ah, here's the damn nail. Right in the middle of the pasture. Olbram and Procek won't be happy. I finally found the damn border between the Takov and Zheleov parts of the pasture.
How the hell did you manage that?
I found it in that chronicle of yours. It wasn't easy, but we can finally put an end to all that endless fighting.
Oh, about fucking time. So then, are you sure you found the right place?
Definitely. And used them to mark the border so that people wouldn't forget where it is. One of them is in the oak tree on the pasture.
That's nice of him and all, but he could have fucking told somebody about it. Who can make sense of those writings of his? At least old Bram and Project will leave us alone now. Go to them, and when you all meet in the pasture, I'll ride over and settle this nonsense once and for all. And if those two start arguing again, I'll be hammering nails into their arses instead of trees.
I'm feeling a bit peckish.
Oh, but she came out all hairy, like a black lamb.
That can happen. My younger brother was as hairy as Esau when he was born, but the baby will grow out of it soon enough.
I hope so. But at the christening, it'll look like we brought a puppy to church.
Better than having your baby shit in a pot. Trust me, I speak from experience.
It's filthy again. Damn it. God, why is this all sticky?
There's no food for me here.
What can I do for you?
I sorted everything out. Let's go and meet the Zheliovites and have a discussion.
Finally! Come on, let's call the lads over and send for Olbram. Well, Zheliovites, did you miss us?
Of course they did. I reckon they hardly slept a wink.
Can you blame them? I'd rather come and get a beating than hang around in Zheleov too.
You see? They're provoking us again. There's no use trying to negotiate with them.
There's nothing to negotiate, old man. The pasture is ours, and that's final.
Bullshit! You know right well that I got smacked around as a child in that orchard, right over there.
You know what? Now you'll get smacked around here too.
Enough! Does anybody here have anything better to do?
Trust? What are you doing here?
This shouldn't concern you, bailiff. We'll just beat those bastards' arses and go home.
Sort them out, bailiff. Put a stop to their nonsense once and for all.
I won't tolerate this nonsense in my territory.
Tell that to the Zheliovites. Maybe they'll finally get it into their thick heads that this pasture is ours.
In your dreams, you Takavite swine!
Kulva! Be quiet already!
You're both wrong. The pasture is split in half. From here to that oak over there is Zheliov property, and from the oak on, it belongs to Tachov.
We're supposed to share with them? Ha!
How do you know? You're not even from around here.
But unlike you, yokels, he can read. It's all there, black on white, in the Troskovitz Chronicle. So you'll obey it and finally give it a rest.
They've done so much to hurt us. They should have to make it up to us. Make them pay.
None of that. They're the ones always provoking us. You know what? Let's give them a nice final bashing.
Knock it off already. Haven't you had enough of all this senseless arguing over the years? All those worthless problems and wasted time? Can't you just shake hands and make up?
That's right. From this point forward, this dispute is over. And if I hear about anyone causing trouble again, I'll have you all clapped in the pillory. Together. Now pack up and go home.
Well, Grandpa, are you satisfied?
God bless.
Not in the slightest.
Greetings to
you. Well, at least it's fair. But I'd still rather punch you in the face.
Don't you worry. I'm sure we'll find a reason to fight again soon enough.
Ah, Fakuta. Can't laugh.
It'd be an awful bore around here, eh?
Well said.
Now, I hope the Takovites and Jeliovites won't be at each other's throats for a while.
I can hardly believe it. I'm sure Lord von Berghoff will be delighted with how I handled it.
How you handled it?
Aye? With a little help from you. True enough. It's nice that someone deals with problems instead of making more for a change.
Ah, don't mention it.
Leave it off. We've got our good name back. Since you did so well with the Chronicle, I have another book of knowledge for you. I didn't get much out of it myself, but maybe you'll find something revealing in it. That's a damn fine reward, don't you think?
My word. Thank you.